Okay, and we are live. Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Thank you for joining in on this Tuesday evening, wherever you guys are. I hope you've had a very, very good start to the week. So let's get talking Manchester United. Let's get down to business, because business is well and truly picking up at Manchester United. At long, long last, United are doing bits in the market. At long last, we are actually moving forward and doing the things we should have been doing all along. So first and foremost, Marcus Rashford, new contract signed today. That is signed, sealed, and delivered, folks. He is going to be staying here to at least June 2028, unless United choose to sell him. So brilliant news for that. Congratulations to Marcus Rashford. Now let's get talking about the odd story of the day, the big surprise. Look, we all know Johnny Evans had been training with Manchester United. We thought it was to regain fitness, and now all of a sudden he has been signed to a short-term deal with Manchester United. So that's right, guys. Johnny Evans is back at Manchester United. So it's surprising. I can't say I saw this one coming, but here we are, and I guess it is a thing that has happened. And look, in my opinion, if we sell Maguire and we sell a couple of other defenders and we bring in Johnny Evans, maybe as like a Tom Heaton style signing, who just kind of sits on the bench and is there in case of an absolute emergency, maybe it's not a bad thing until the end of the season, because our budget is going to be quite limited from here on in, according to good sources, the likes of Ornstein, the likes of Romano. You know, we are getting to the selling point, and we need to get talking about that. And look, as you guys are saying, absolutely, I'm reading these here. The big one, Alex Telles, is still done. £10 million going to Al-Nassr in Saudi Arabia, playing back with Cristiano Ronaldo. And that's a brilliant move for United, because when we were going to say selling Alex Telles and selling Eric Bailly, I was really concerned, because United have an awful track record at selling players. We've known this for a very, very long time, guys. And especially this season as well. You know, we've sold Zidane Iqbal, we've sold Ethan Laird for £1.5 million between them. And it's not great business. But this is genuinely a very, very good sale, and I am very happy about that. Ashid, good to see you as well. Yusuf as well, thanks for joining in, man. And yeah, look, this Tellez deal, it makes a lot of sense, guys. I'm feeling really, really good about it, because, look, this guy was fourth choice left back, and we sold him for 10 million. That is good business, and that's the kind of business we need to take forward into the rest of this transfer window. That's going to make the big difference, guys, honestly, because that means that we can hopefully have some backbone, bring in the money we need in sealed for the players who will not play, and then we can bring in some better players, because Højlund is depending on it, Amrabat is depending on it, and that's a big one, guys. But in terms of a poll tonight, I'm asking you guys, who should we be signing, Rasmus Hojlund or Kolo Muani? So, of course, this is coming in from David Ornstein. Now, look, we've seen all the movement on the Højlund deal. There's nothing that I can really tell you there that you guys probably don't already know, but I think it's interesting on this Kolo Muani one. So United are actually moving on two players at the same time, and that's what you want to be seeing from United. And look, that means we're not putting all the eggs in one basket, and that's nothing but a good thing, guys, honestly. Clinton is down there. Good to see you, man. What transfer are United doing? Next is none other than Rasmus Højlund. Yeah, I think it's going to be Højlund. I think Højlund will be the next signing through the door. I think Kolo Muani is being used as this is like a backup option. This is who we get if Atalanta are too unreasonable. And look, United have done this before. We've done this with the Mason Mount deal, when Chelsea were putting the foot down and really trying to squeeze some extra money out of us. United threatened to walk away, and we went to go after who did we go after? Caicedo. And look, when we were trying to buy Onana, what we saw there was United saying, "Oh, forget Onana, we'll just go bring in Dean Henderson." And look, it's a negotiation tactic. Dan, thank you for the super chat, man. Much appreciated. Onana was my name, is done. Højlund next. Yeah, we're going to have to get a song for Højlund going, guys. Honestly, it's going to be a little bit more difficult to get Højlund into a song as well. Thank you very much for that, Dan, man. Much appreciated. Ashid is looking to get Rasmus Højlund as well. Dave is down there. I feel a CDM and another centre back is critical as well as Højlund. Yes, I completely agree. I don't think Johnny Evans is that guy. Look, I guess he can come in as an absolute emergency cover signing, but look, I think CDM, yes, I feel like that's probably going to be Sofyan Amrabat. I feel like that's going to be the most realistic option there. In terms of other centre backs, now we've seen links to Diazy, we've seen links to Tobato. Personally, I would kind of be of the opinion, if we cannot get the top tier centre back that we really wanted, like I feel Erik Tn Hag was looking to bring in Kim Min Jae at the start of the window. Obviously, that didn't happen, unfortunately. So I feel like what we would be safer doing is, look, we have some very good centre backs in Martinez, Lindelof, Varane. Even Luke Shaw can fill in very well as centre back. If Johnny Evans comes in, that's like your 5th choice. Maybe that can do until next season, where we can go out and bring in a top level centre back. Maybe a Diamonde, maybe Antonio Silva, somebody of that caliber. Maybe that's what we are planning on doing, and I feel like that might be what Erik Tn Hag is going for. But in terms of what Dan has said on that super chat, and you guys have been talking, we're going to be on to the main man himself. It's Rasmus Hojlund. So coming in, Alfredo Padilla is saying the gap in valuation is not wide between United and Atalanta for Hojlund. United willing to offer 53 to 55 million. Atalanta wants 60 million. So that's good. That is good news. What have we got down in the comments there? Yusuf is saying, is there any news about the Seal and Amrabat? Yes, we actually have some let me just do that. Yes, we actually do have some news on the Seal news for once. So coming in from Bloomberg, very, very reliable sources. They've said the Glazer family imminently are set to make their final decision on Manchester United. So it'll either be a sale or they're going to opt to hang on, which we knew already. I mean, I feel like that's not a massive update. I feel like that is like, yeah, they're either going to stay or go. Like, that is common sense. But I did like the part of that title and the part of that article where it says it's going to be done imminently, because nothing has been done imminently with this sale from October. That's when all this started, and we're still going on midway through July. We're kind of getting towards the end of July, and we are still going on with this same story, the same takeover. But look, I want to see some sort of resolution done to this as soon as possible. I'm sure you guys do as well. And look, if it happens, that's brilliant news for United, honestly, because we need to get it sold. These Glazer family, the way they run this club, it's just limiting us in so many ways, guys, honestly. And look, that's the big thing. Hopefully this happens as imminently as what is meant to be happening. We know with the Glazer family, anything is possible. They might choose to drag this on for another 6 months if they want to, if they feel they can. And look, if you were Sheikh Jassim, if you were Radcliffe, like, these guys are serious businessmen, and they're dealing with the Glazer family. Like, they must be thinking to themselves, what have we got ourselves in for? Dave is saying, is Rasmus a one for the future, or will he lead the line? It's a good question. It is a good question. I feel like this is probably a bit of both, really. I would like to see a more experienced striker brought in alongside him. Now, look, if it's going to be Taremi, maybe it's going to be like Martial's stay. I don't know. I think he's got all the attributes to lead the line. I feel like he's got the ability to lead the line, and he's got that sort of talent that we need to be the striker of Manchester United. And look, I think he will be absolutely fantastic. Like, looking at the style of player he is, what he offers, he really is an absolute freak athlete, very good finisher, and in United he would score goals. So I feel like he's ready to start for Manchester United. Now, whether he plays every single match, maybe not. Maybe he is kind of rotated in and out a little bit with Martial. Maybe we try different things in different matches. But I think Højlund will be the guy. He'll come in and be the main striker for Manchester United. We're pushing hard for him. I don't really see us spending 50, 60 million on a guy and not playing him either, despite what Laurie Whitwell has been saying in his Athletic reports, or what Chris Wheeler has been saying on the Daily Mail, where United are thinking about bringing him in as a long-term future option. Yes, he will be a long-term future option in the sense he will be here for a long time, and there's a lot of development still to come in his game, but he still does deserve to start at the moment, and especially if we're paying that kind of money for him, that's a big thing. Let me see. We've got Fabrizio Romano speaking on Højlund as well, guys. So United are hoping they can use add-ons to reduce the 65 million euro asking price for Rasmus Hojlund, and personal terms are 100% agreed. So he wants to come, and he has also indicated his desire to leave Atalanta to join Manchester United. So look, Højlund is pushing from his side. Clearly United have started to push from their side. I think this is a deal that gets done. I would feel quite confident to tell you guys that I would be more surprised than not if we didn't sign Højlund, honestly. Clinton says, recently the Glazers increased United's budget, so signing Højlund would not include us selling players to fund the move. Yeah, look, I have seen reports on that as well, but make no mistake about it, guys, I still feel like we need to sell, because whilst 3 players is really good in Onana, Mount and Højlund, like those are 3 players who come in and start for Manchester United and are first team players. That's a big thing for this club. That's a big thing that we need. I still think we need more. I feel like another defensive type midfielder, maybe someone in a double pivot. I feel like Amrabat is the perfect guy for that job. I feel like we could probably do with another striker, maybe another centre-back as well. Look, we can't do it all in one window, unfortunately. That isn't the way Manchester United operate. That's not the way football operates. And unless you're going to do a Nottingham Forest last year, signed 24 players, it's just not going to happen. It's just not going to work out. And I do feel like maybe we're starting to get towards the final view of this window, where it's going to be 3-4 players maximum. If it's good enough, it's good enough. I feel like it's going to be enough for Manchester United to achieve the season aims. Obviously, we could go even further, even faster if we went after more players, but I don't think we're going to be quite so trigger happy in the market. Dan is saying, had a horrible thought the window is going well. Do you think the Glazers are trying to stay? And please, Lord, no. Full sale only. New contracts for Rashford, etc. Things of Glazers trying to impress. Get out. Yeah, look, I feel like the Rashford contract, I feel like that was a long time coming. We've been negotiating that for a long time. Look, I feel like the Glazers probably are not too concerned about public opinion, because if they were, they would have left years ago, or they would have tried to right the wrongs that they have done at Manchester United. Those guys are thick-skinned. They really don't care what United fans think about them, what they say about them. What I could sit here between now and the end of the week non-stop ranting about the Glazer family. It probably wouldn't have too much of an effect on the guys. The big thing we can say about them, and this whole talk coming in from Bloomberg, I think it's big talk, because we want to see an imminent resolution. If the Glazers finally decide that they're going to sell this club, then I think everything speeds up. Then I think we really do start moving towards new ownership. And that's something we've been looking for a very long time. And we fought for this for almost 20 years. This fan base, this club, this community of fans who have always followed United. We have seen the good times, we've seen the bad times. We need us to keep on going. We need to keep on with that Glazers out message. And that's going to be as much as we can do. We need them to finally take an offer. I don't know what's going to happen, all things considered, with Sheikh Jassim maybe going in with another bid. I don't know, because he did say that the last bid was it, no more negotiations. And I don't know where we're going to sit from here. I really don't know if it's going to be a case that United are going to just drag along the sealed process. I don't know. I really hope that it moves forward at a much better pace, guys, honestly, because I honestly, guys, I am kind of fed up talking about it. We've been talking about this every single week from October, and we're still no closer to a final resolution than we were then. And that's a big frustrating thing. And all these rounds of bids, all that stuff, it's really, really dragged all this process on. So, look, I'm going to get back to Rasmus Hojlund here, because David Ornstein has said Hojlund has indicated his decision to leave this summer to Atalanta. And obviously he's the guy as well has been saying United are in parallel discussions with Kolo Muani. So look, it looks like it's going to be one or the other. I mean, if we sign both, that could be a real sign of intent that we're going to give Erik Tn Hag the striking tools he needs to finish higher up that league and really finish for the big honours in football. I feel like we get Højlund. I feel like this has been an ongoing thing. I feel like we have more information and stuff on Højlund when we're talking about contract details, personal terms being agreed, small gap valuations between the two clubs. You really are starting to talk about a deal that's on track to be complete, and I feel like we're going to get there. I really feel like this will be the next signing. And look, after this, it's going to be about sales. Look, getting Tellez out for 10 million, that's a brilliant start. We need more than that. And speaking of players going now, sorry, I just hit my mic there. Speaking of players going now, you guys are going to love this. I'm absolutely loving this as well. So, Chelsea are considering making a move for Harry Maguire. Baby is saying, Amra, yeah, I would love Sofian Amrabat at this club, man. Thank you very much for that. So, Chelsea are considering making a move for Harry Maguire, guys. How do we feel about that? Who is happy about Harry Maguire potentially leaving this club? I feel like this has been something that's we've been waiting for a long time, and I feel like Maguire being stripped of the captaincy is him being pushed out towards the door. DL says, what about Johnny Evans? Something to do with homegrown list maybe, or easier to offload Maguire now? I feel like, look, I said this right at the start of the show, and I'll go back on it, of course. This is what I think about Johnny Evans. I think United are maybe looking. I feel like we initially brought him in to train with us, build up his own fitness because he was without a club. A lot of clubs do this to ex-players. They give them that option. Sheed says I'm buffering. I don't think let me just check the stream health. Nope, it says healthy. Let me know if it's okay, guys. Down below. But yeah, guys, so in terms of Johnny Evans, so this is what we're gonna say. It's kind of one of those deals where we're like, if we sell Maguire and we have Johnny Evans, that's gonna cover us for like a 5th choice centre back. Maybe we keep hold of him throughout the rest of the season. Then maybe from there, what United can do is invest the money that we raise from the Maguire sale into an Amrabat, and then next season we spend a lot of the budget on a top level centre back. Maybe that's going to be the plan. I feel like that's kind of a sensible option. I feel like it's maybe a smart thing to do because, look, yes, Maguire is in the squad, but I don't think we need to spend 30-40 million on a centre back who's going to come in and be like 3rd or 4th choice. I feel like what we do need is people who come in, improve the starting 11, and bring direct competition. So, look, Maguire can go. We can bring in Johnny Evans, and he can sit there and he can do what Tom Heaton did for 2 or 3 seasons and just be that kind of backup goalkeeper. Maybe play from time to time, but that's about it. Stephanie, good to see you. Thank you for joining in. I'm so fresh as well. Great news about Rashford signing for 5 years. It looks like deals are starting to move quicker. Glazers need a boot up the rectum. Honestly, yes, they do. Look, things are starting to move quicker at Manchester United. It's been a long time coming. We've been looking for this pretty much all summer. And look, I feel like United do this every single year. It's a really, really slow start to the window in June throughout most of July. Then we kind of kick to life around the tour, rushing to get things done before we fly off to the other side of the world. Then it slows down again, and then maybe it picks up after a couple of Premier League matches. Dan says Evans covers budget and will be gone after Højlund. Yeah, look, I feel like that's true. Like, the budget is there. DL says Galatasaray going to offer a second bid for Fred now, and Telek's going for 11 million. Yeah, look, that is really good because we're starting to make, we're not making profit, but we're making a decent in return on our money this in this summer transfer window, and that's so crucial, guys, because this FFP, whatever it's coming from, be it Glazer family, be it from the overall lack of ownership at United, the lack of leadership that has led us into bad financials, I don't know. But I do think if we can sell these players, it's going to open the door to bringing more in. And the more players go out, the more players come in. The more players come in, the better Erik Tn Hag's team is going to be. Stephanie says, accelerates the exit of Maguire and brings that NI passion back to Northern Ireland. Yeah, it also means that we do have a Premier League winner in the squad, which is good. Ronnie is saying, very happy to see Johnny back at the club. Last Northern Ireland game. He is still a big Manchester United supporter, and as you say, he'll be 4th choice centre back. Yeah, look, I don't think anybody's calling for Johnny Evans to start over Varane or Martinez. He wouldn't start over Lindelof, but can he come in and be that 4th choice guy who maybe offers a rotation? Probably could. And look, he's obviously impressed Erik Tn Hag enough in training for him to offer him this contract in the first place. Rajat, good to see you as well. Dan, he loves the club and he didn't want to go when he left. No, he was kind of pushed out by Louis van Gaal. Um, Byron says Byron Real Man City would get both Muani and Hojlund. Yeah, they probably would do. But I'm very, very excited about Højlund. Yeah, absolutely. And there's Lyon. Good to see you, man. Thank you for that. So let me have a check at the notes because there's a lot to get through on Rasmus Højlund. He is the main topic of conversation. He is the name floating around all of Manchester United fans, and this is the big one, really. So we're coming in. Alfredo Padilla saying Manchester United's bid for Højlund will have a fixed base of 53 to 55 million plus bonuses. Now, it has come out that Atalanta are looking to see what are the 60 million base. So I feel like the base is kind of getting close. I feel like we're going to work it from there. This will be a heavy add-on deal in my opinion. Luman, good to see you. Thank you for that, for joining in with us. Yeah, and look, I feel like this is going to be one of those transfers where it's going to be heavily contingent on the add-ons, and I feel like we'll probably get to an agreement on the overall fee, and then the add-ons will come down to it. So look, United and Atalanta, they'll probably want both around about 65 million. If that's euros, if it's pounds, that's probably a ballpark estimate of where we're sitting. Now, United are offering about 45 million in cash, and then they're offering the rest in add-ons. Atalanta want to see around about 55 million in cash, and then the rest in add-ons. So there's a base there, maybe about 10 million difference. And it's not in terms of the actual overall fee, it's in terms of how that's paid. And that seems to be where the holdup is coming. But I'm hoping this can be something we can resolve very quickly, because we've done it already with Mason Mount in this transfer window. We've done it with Andre Onana. So let's hope we can get these sorted. Ababy is saying Amrabat and Mane, Theo Hernandez to United is better. Well, yeah, those are some brilliant players, but look, I don't think Mane is coming, guys. I don't think Theo Hernandez is coming, but Amrabat certainly is a player who does want to come to Manchester United. So this coming in from Alex Crook of Talk Sport saying Amrabat is driven crazy by the idea of playing for Manchester United. He really wants to come here. Fiorentina want to sell 25 million. I think we can easily raise that money. And when we look at the players going, the likes of Tellez going for 10 million, that's a brilliant start. Then we're probably going to get like 10 million for Fred, 15 million for Fred, 20 million for Henderson, 15 for Elanga. You know, the money can come in, but United need to stay firm in these negotiations. So we need to not get weak. We need to have a backbone, and we need to continue doing what we have done throughout this window, which is be, for United standards, quite strong and decisive in the market. Let me see. Cheers. Do you buy every... Rajad is also saying Amrabat, Edson Alvarez, and maybe Gavi Viega. Yeah, those are some good looking players. Taremi, yeah, I would like to see Taremi. I feel like that's a smart deal. You know, we're talking there, a 30-year-old striker coming in, probably alongside Højlund, and he's going to give you some cover, he's going to give you some experience, and he'll make a big difference. And yeah, Dan is absolutely right. Ten Hag did have Amrabat in his career as well, I believe, at FC Utrecht. So there's a past relationship there. One thing I do think is very interesting, and I'm sure you guys have probably picked up on it. Now, last year, Erik Tn Hag was kind of criticised for only really signing players who he had worked with before. But we seem to be buying a lot of Serie A players in this transfer window. You know, we're looking, like, we've signed Onana. He is coming to Manchester for his medical. We're looking Højlund, and we're looking Amrabat. That's 3 Serie A players. So it is interesting to see. I'm so fresh. Ten Hag has liked what I see on the field from Hannibal so far. Apparently, yeah. I mean, I've liked what I've seen on the field from Hannibal as well. So I'm sure Erik Tn Hag is feeling the same way. I feel like Hannibal's a talented player. I feel like the guts and determination that he does have, the aggression, the enthusiasm will carry him far. Now, whether it happens for him at Manchester United, it remains to be seen. I feel like Ten Hag is probably rating Kobbie Mainoo slightly ahead of Hannibal, but definitely the potential in there to do something special. Drop a like on the videos, guys, as well, would be much appreciated. Luman says, Glazers will buy them all. Doubt it, man. Stephanie saying Rasmus is raw, real, and hopefully soon to be a red. Great to see and hear players wanting to come and play for United. Amrabat next, please. Yes, that's my feelings exactly. And look, I don't mind raw players. And look, there's always something to be said, you know, for a talented perfectly executed player. But one of my favorite things about watching Wayne Rooney play was the guy was raw. You know, he was passionate, he was angry, he barged into people. It wasn't always pretty, but it was effective. And man, oh man, he was good. Now I'm not comparing Højlund to Wayne Rooney, of course, but I do like to see a little bit of rawness in a player. I do like to see a bit of aggression. I've seen it from Højlund as well in the clips, in the highlights and stuff that I have watched, and watched a couple of full matches. The runs the guy makes are brilliant, and he does keep on running, and he creates chances. Something you will notice if we get this guy is he drags centre backs all over the pitch when they're playing against him. You know, if they're man marking him, he'll just peel off and then he'll make a massive big space. That's perfect for Bruno Fernandes. If Bruno Fernandes has clear green ahead of him because Højlund's pulled the centre back away, then he can pass it or then he can shoot. And we know what Bruno Fernandes can do. And look, let me see who's down here. Erik Tn Hag, coach 3 to 5 Dutch teams. Yep, he did coach a lot. CR7 is Rasmus Hojlund's idol. Yeah, it's interesting as well. Dan says Ten Hag's wanted players who will come even more. It's a platform for Højlund. Absolutely. And look, Højlund has had a real meteoric rise. He only signed for Atalanta last year. You know, he was playing in Denmark before then. So to go from Denmark to Italy and then to Manchester United, you know, that is a meteoric rise. And look, make no mistake about it. And I can guarantee this for you now, guys. So Sky Sports will try to force a rivalry next season. If we sign Rasmus Højlund, he will be compared to Erling Haaland throughout the season. That is no doubt in my mind, because they'll look, Sky Sports will be the usual lazy sort of comparisons that they try to make. They do it all the time. So look, if we're seeing Højlund being compared to Haaland, it's only because they're both Danish strikers who are tall and blonde and have a similar sounding name. So make no mistake about it, that's the top and bottom of that, and we will see it. I promise you guys, we will see it. So look, make no mistake about it. Like Højlund, he is very, very good. He's not at Haaland's level, but it's not to say he couldn't get something close to that in future. You know, he is 2 or 3 years younger than Haaland, so he's got time on his side, and I'm excited to see what he's going to do, playing for a top level team like United. And look, I feel like a lot of strikers and a lot of forwards would score a lot of goals in this team, because Bruno Fernandes, this man made the most chances in the Premier League last season, and despite that, guy only got like 8 assists, and not just because we were teeing up Wout Weghorst. If we had a Højlund last season, he probably would have got 20 to 25 goals, and I would expect that from Højlund next season because of how much chances we make, match in, match out, every single time we're on the pitch. You know, we have Bruno, we have Mount now, Casemiro can play forward passes. Lisandro Martinez plays it forward from the back. Onana, you know, that's going to help us play faster, play more directly, and hold possession better. So United's going to be a completely transformed team next season. Make no mistake about it. So we have an update in there from Fabrizio. So Andre Onana will arrive in England around 7 p.m. UK time. So obviously it's 8 o'clock now. If anybody has been doing any flight watching, any plane scanning, please let me know, because I reckon he's probably here now. Stephanie says Ten Hag loves a big, strong centre forward who is a fighting focal point. It might help Anthony and Sancho with assists. Yeah, it probably will do. And that's something I really like. And something I do like about Højlund as well, he does kind of peel off to the right-hand side. Now, look, I'm sure you guys have noticed, when United play, everything goes down the left. It's Rashford, it's Shaw, it's Martinez and Eriksen and Bruno, and even Martial pulls over there. So Anthony's kind of just sitting, chilling on the right wing by himself most of the match. So having Højlund over there is going to be good for him. Having Mount over there is going to be good for him. So I expect to see a bit more balance in United, and that's going to make us bigger on the pitch. And that's going to be a big, big difference. Sheet says 119 chances created by Bruno Fernandes. Yeah, I mean, absolutely ridiculous. Although I did see a clip of a certain somebody said Bruno Fernandes doesn't create, he only shoots. I'm sure you guys have seen it. I feel like that might be one of the most incorrect takes I've ever seen. That's like saying Erling Haaland doesn't score goals. Creating is what Bruno Fernandes does. Rajat says, oh, is that from Fabrizio's podcast? Yeah, I think it did come in from that. Dan says, Monday Night Football, Carragher spitting all over Neville during the comparison between 2 Scandinavian players. Lol. It's coming. I'm telling you guys now, it is coming. Make no mistake about it, guys. Honestly, just as that comparison from Sky would definitely feel fierce comparison between Haaland and Højlund. I like it. Yeah, look, that's why they're going to do it. And look, Sky Sports, they thrive of kind of forcing these kind of stupid rivalries. It's like when they're comparing Arteta to Pep Guardiola. I'm like, Arteta's finished 8th twice in the Premier League in the last 2 seasons, and you're comparing him to Pep. Like, they just do this. They love to force an agenda, and it's just the way it goes. Look, it's easy clicks, it's easy money, it's easy stories to write, and that's the main thing. So let's get talking here. We have some updates coming in from about Zion Suzuki. So Manchester United want Suzuki as their backup goalkeeper. He will play for the first team. United have agreed terms with Suzuki himself, and negotiations are underway with Urawa Reds. I think that's good, guys. I think that's good. Dan's looking subtitles for Monday Night Football. Yeah, honestly, guys, it's the same as Steven Gerrard over in Saudi Arabia. I did see a clip of him as well, shouting at players about lack of communication. But yeah, guys, so Zion Suzuki looks like a player Manchester United are making a move for. And this is something I've noticed, and I really do like this approach for Manchester United. All season long, every player we've gone after, we have tried to agree personal terms first. And that's because, in my opinion, like, this is just my opinion, I feel like what United are doing is they're going and negotiating with these players. They're saying, do you want to join us? We'll play you 100,000 a week, 5-year deal. They basically agree personal terms with the players, and what that does, it kind of puts the pressure on clubs to sell, because everybody knows you don't want a player to be at your club who isn't really happy to be there or wants to be elsewhere. That's a bad thing for your team. It's a bad thing for team spirit, morale, and I think it's United putting the squeeze on these clubs. So I think that's a very, very smart thing to be doing. Rajat says we have VTech. Yeah, I like Kovar as well. I feel like we're going to see Kovar playing tomorrow. Terry says, hi all, good to see you, Terry. Thank you for joining in. Yeah, guys, so let's have a look at tomorrow's squad, because it makes for some interesting reading as well, because there's a lot of players in there who I would expect not to have been included, and there's players in there who I didn't think, they definitely would be going. So it is going to be a different team once again for Manchester United tomorrow. So the big one is, of course, that Tom Heaton isn't there. So where is Tom Heaton going? We've seen big talks about him potentially going, and going to where is it, Luton Town, so that could be an option. Chat Sport, good to see you as well. Razat says looks like we got more efficient in market dealing, and Lee says easy Steph, still doing the United way, panic at the last minute and pay silly wages. Yeah, absolutely, don't worry, we will still be doing that, Lee, I promise you, man. Look, it's just for Manchester United. This is like discovering fire. That's what we're trying to go for here. Good to see you, Martin. Thank you for joining in. Stephanie saying, getting Amrabat, please, and Caicedo, wishful thinking would really strengthen the spine. Oh, it would. It would be so good. Honestly, guys, I just don't think it's going to happen with I feel like we're going to lose out on Caicedo. He's going to go to Chelsea. Look, he wants to go there. He wants to move. Now, look, make no mistake about it, guys. I'm honestly loving what Brighton and Hove Albion are doing. They're really holding Chelsea to the fire, and it's nothing but a good thing, guys, honestly, because Chelsea have kind of ruined the market with these massive deals and the way they've been spreading things out. And Chelsea can't expect to spend over £600 million in a 6-month window and then not expect teams to ask for a big price tag whenever they come in for a player, especially if it's one of their best players, honestly. Stephanie says, let's get the likes over to 50. Yes, guys, drop a like on the video, of course. Let me just load this up as well, because I wanted to show you guys the squad for tomorrow and what it might mean for the match against Lyon in Edinburgh tomorrow. So, obviously, as we know, Johnny Evans is going to be in there. Johnny Evans has been training with Manchester United, and he is going to be included in the squad. We have given him a short-term deal. Now, what are we going to do with Johnny Evans? Is he going to be the replacement for Maguire? Look, if we sell Maguire, we can keep hold of Johnny Evans maybe for a season as like the 5th choice centre-back. He's there for an emergency. We've done it with Lee Grant. We've done it with Tom Heaton. Maybe that's something that we do. Let's find out what happens with that. So we're going to get looking at the squad here. So in terms of goalkeepers, this is where it gets interesting. So we've seen all the talk about Tom Heaton potentially going, about Dean Henderson potentially going. Neither of them have been included in tomorrow's squad. So in terms of goalkeepers, guys, we're looking at Nathan Bishop, Eli Harrison, and Matej Kovar. So I expect to see Kovar. I expect to see Nathan Bishop in there. We've got Johnny Evans, of course. Now, Tyrell Malacia, he is injured as well. So we have Alvaro Fernandez in there. We also have Will Fish, Mark Jurado, he could be going to Barcelona. Lisandro Martinez, Rafa Varane, Aaron Wan-Bissaka and Brandon Williams. So still no Luke Shaw, still no Diogo Dalot, not into the team yet. But look, we got Fred, we got Dan Gore, Hannibal, Isaac Hanton-Aring, Manu, Mason Mount and Donny van de Beek in the midfield. And a forward of Amad Diallo. Anthony is back. Now, Anthony is back in full training, so that's good for United. Noam Emran in there, Amari Forson, Joe Hugel and Jadon Sancho. So plenty of players in there, but still some people missing who we are surprised about. Who else have we got down here, guys? Rajat says, can we get Delit in a few years' time? Reunite him with Ten Hag. Look, that could be a nice signing. Make no mistake about it, guys. I think I would prefer maybe someone like an Antonio Silva. Maybe I'm just being a bit of a footballing hipster. I do apologise if so, but I feel like I really, really love watching him for Benfica. Who have we got down here? Limon says, I want to see Maguire play again, this time without the captaincy. Yeah, I could do without Maguire playing at all. Dan says, can't wait to see Mount and Fernandes light up Old Trafford. Press and the new goalkeepers can be unreal in home games. Absolutely, it's going to completely change how that team plays. Massive, massive difference, guys. Nixon says, has Onana arrived into the UK? We have seen this. Fabrizio Romano said he's meant to be arriving by 7 p.m. today. So he should have been in an hour ago. So maybe someone has got photos of him on Twitter. Maybe it's something to check out after the stream. Stephanie says, Johnny will be like Thunderbird 4 if needed. Love that there, I won't have to say. Lumana saying Lee Sharp was a good player. Yeah, there is a Lee in the chat as well. Don't think it's the same Lee Sharp. Anthony was injured badly, wasn't he? Yeah, it's good to see him back. Terry saying Maguire could be a target for Chelsea as their centre-back is injured. And Leo saying Ten Hag has got something against the younger academy players. Remember, you won't win anything with kids. Yeah, absolutely. And yeah, look, what Terry is saying is very much true. So this coming in from Graham Bailey, is coming in from Scott Saunders. Chelsea would consider a move for Harry Maguire. Now, they have had a long-standing interest in Maguire. Of course, Wesley Fofana, he's injured again, so it's not good for them. Now, Chelsea do have other centre-backs, of course. They got Levi Colwill. I think they still have Trevor Chalobah as well, but he's likely to leave. Maybe they fancy a move for Harry Maguire. Maybe that's what they do. Let's find out what happens on that one, because it would be a brilliant sale, because Chelsea will probably pay 30 million for Maguire, and that is exactly what Manchester United should be doing and exactly what we should be looking for. Now, knowing United will probably say, no, we want 60 million because it's Chelsea, but let's hope that if he does go, he goes for some decent money. But look, players going, players coming in, it is happening quick and fast at Manchester United for the first time in a very long time, and we have to be kind of happy with it. Look, for United, this is rocket science. That's what we mean. For other clubs, this might be an average window, maybe slightly slower than normal. But for United, this is like warp 7. This is unheard of. Let's see. Stephanie's in the fridge to the bridge. Chatsport United are short on goals. I'd like to see 2 strikers and 2 centre mids. I would like to see it as well. I feel like the 2 strikers is a big thing. Look, I don't think we're going to get Muani, and I don't think we're going to get Højlund both. I feel like maybe Taremi would come in alongside one of them. That's what I call a smart move. And look, we do have other players in there who we would expect more of this season as well. I would expect more goals out of Bruno Fernandes. Mason Mount will add goals from midfield. I feel like Rashford, he's going to have another good season. Then we've got Anthony and Sancho, 2 players who do need to step up as well. Pastor Milner, I yet to hear about the Glazers, because this American bosses, they don't think the club is about big business and taking money out of the club, so please don't let them in again. Yeah, look, we do have something on the Glazer family, so for anyone interested, which I'm sure everybody is, absolutely positive everybody is, but for anyone interested on this here, I mean, it's kind of one of these updates that we've had every once in a while, where it's like, yeah, the Glazers don't know what they're doing, or, you know, that they haven't made their minds up, or whatever. Look, this is coming in from Bloomberg. So, look, it's a good source. I'm going to take Bloomberg's word for this. So they're saying, Glazer family expected to decide on a sale imminently. They don't know if they're going to hold on to the club or if they're going to sell. Now, I hope, guys, that they sell, because I genuinely could not cope with the idea of these guys staying on. And that's going to really, really take all the positivity out of this club. Like, make no mistake about it. Like, we're taking steps forward. This would be like getting hit by a truck. Like, this would not be pretty for Manchester United or United fans, and we would not be feeling so positive about this club if the leeches are staying on, and that's what we need to get rid of, and that's what we have to hope so for. So look, that's the update we have for today. So coming in from Bloomberg, I'm praying that they do something. And look, it's going to be interesting because we've heard before they aren't entirely happy with any of the bids. They don't think they quite add up to what they wanted, which again, it's a big concern, guys, honestly. And look, let's just hope that it happened. What's happened there? Don't know why the poll just popped up there. Nelba, it's good to see you. Hello, mate. I want to find out your opinion on what striker suits us. Oh, you guys are asking me for an opinion. I'm liking this. Let me think. I'm gonna go for Højlund. I'm gonna go for Højlund. Look, and as Rajat says, maybe a big club would get both, but I feel like we're working with a limited budget here, and I feel like we won't sell the players at enough to really buy two strikers. That's what we would like to see. But if I had to pick, I'm going to go for Højlund. He's a younger option. Now, look, Muani scored more goals last year, but as we know, Bundesliga goals, then it was always transferred too well over into Premier League. So I feel like I'm going to take Højlund. I feel like that is going to be my pick. I feel like overall, there's a higher ceiling with Højlund, and I feel like the difference in the two players, it's very, very small at all. Rajat says, yep, let's get Amrabat and Goretzka. Yeah, we do have a story on Leon Goretzka as well, guys. So coming in from Pletigo, Manchester United are still monitoring Leon Goretzka, but the club are more focused on Sofian Amrabat now. So it looks like it's going to be one or the other. It's going to be the same as Muani, same as Højlund. It's one or the other. We're not going to get both. Even though we probably should get both, we're not going to get both. So, look, we're going to have one. And I think it has to be Amrabat. I feel like he's going to bring more than Goretzka to this team. I feel like he is the right fit. And look, that's what we're doing. United have had a long history over the last 10 years of a lot of failures in the transfer market. And one of those reasons is we have been buying good players that they might not fit what we have. They might not fit the system that we're building. That's the big thing. That's really what I feel like Erik Tn Hag has managed to change, is that we're bringing in players who are going to fit the system and fit the team and make the team better. And look, that's why I would say United have had one of the best transfer windows in terms of impact, because we're addressing the holes in the team, the holes in the squad, and as long as we continue to do that, we will be in a better place for it. Stephanie says, imagine we get Højlund now and then either Tony or Kane in January. That would be brilliant. Thomas says, buy both if they can. I would like them to buy both. Don't think they're going to happen. And Nelba's saying, don't you consider Højlund is overpriced and overrated? If we offer him 70, we better buy Kane for 100. 100, is that a plus Sancho? Plus Sancho. Look, I don't think we can get Harry Kane this summer. I just don't think that's going to happen. As much as I love Harry Kane, as much as I think he would be brilliant for this team, I really think he is the perfect guy to lead this forward line. I feel like the actual reluctance of Daniel Levy to sell him to Manchester United, it's going to scupper any deal, and that's something that's been going on for a long time. Like, look, if Daniel Levy was a big businessman, a really good businessman, he would have took that Bayern Munich option and that offer from Bayern for Harry Kane. He would have took United's. He probably would have sold him to Manchester City a couple of seasons back. But there's always been personal stuff. It's always been egotistical stuff with Levy as well that has to come into it as so that's frustrating. Look, we have an update coming in from Talk Sport. So Sofian Amrabat is desperate to join Manchester United, as he should be. Absolutely as he should be, guys, because United's a team going places, and I really like Sofian Amrabat, and he knows Erik Tn Hag. He knows the manager. I think it's going to work perfectly. Greg says Højlund suits the system because he presses well for a striker, just like how Tn Hag wants, and he's got everything a striker needs apart from experience. That'll come in time, and Tn Hag will make him grow. Yeah, obviously, and he's a big guy, 6'4". He's quick, he's strong, he can use both feet, he runs all day. His pressing is good, but he runs those channels, and he really does create a lot of mayhem in and around the penalty box. He pulls defenders one way, he pulls them another way, it makes space, and that lets other teammates go in as well. So I feel like I'm going to take Højlund over Muani. That's just my personal preference. Jot Sports says strikers are going for big money, even if their scoring the record has been poor. Clubs are going to pay big money. Yeah, look, striker market, it's massively overinflated. Absolutely, it's enormously overinflated. But what United don't really have going on our side as well is we have a high demand. When you have a high demand for something in low supply, it goes up. that's kind of how that's how it's gonna happen. Stephanie is saying as well, midfield engine room has been neglected for years. Even under Fergie, we had to make do with an aging gig Skulls. Thanks to Glazers. Yeah, look, that's absolutely true as well. The midfield has been a long-standing weakness in this team. I like the midfield now. I feel like Mount, Casemiro, Bruno is going to be good, but we need more options in there as well. If we're playing three centre midfielders, we need definitely at least two on the bench we can use. Rajat says Højlund is not overrated, overpriced, yes, but overrated. No, yeah, I agree with that. Jarl as well is saying sign both. Look, I would love to sign both. Don't think it's going to happen, unfortunately. And I'm so fresh. Reckon Amrabat is better option than Sabitzer would have been. Yeah, look, Sabitzer is a good player, make no mistake about it, but he doesn't really suit that sort of possession-based team. Like, he can do the pressing work, yes, he can go forward, yes, but I think the big example was Sabitzer in those matches against Sevilla. I believe he played around 16 or 18 passes in 2 full 90 minutes, and I feel like that's probably why he fell out of favour at Bayern Munich, and I feel like that's why maybe he wasn't as effective for United as he could have been. Rajat, Phil Ten Hag will turn Højlund into Prime Van Persie. Nelbus is saying Sofian Amrabat around 15k. Don't more. Goretzka is useless, especially for his price of around 50 60k. Yeah, look, I feel like that's a big thing. I feel like the injury record of Leon Goretzka will go against him as well. United, look, we need players not only to be good, but we need them to be available, and that's one of the biggest things surrounding a lot of players. Anthony Martial, a key example. He was a good player, but he was just always injured, and I feel like it's going to be the same for Leon Goretzka. Good player, but the injuries have caught up with him as well. Look, we have an update coming here from you guys. So Anthony Martial will not be leaving Manchester United this summer, say Talk Sport, and I don't know how I feel about this, because I've had the suspicion for a very, very, very long time, guys, and this has been something I've said several times on the channel. I'm sure you guys remember me saying it. I'm sure you guys feel it as well. One of the main reasons that Anthony Martial will stay at Manchester United this summer is because nobody wants him. We can want to sell a player, we can want to get rid of a player really badly, but if nobody wants to buy them, we're stuck with them unless we cancel the contract, which costs a lot of money. Anthony Martial is probably staying at Manchester United. It's because of the injuries, it's because of his wages, and look, the injuries, that's kind of on him. There's nothing United can do about that. The wages, that is the fault of Manchester United for paying the guy that much. Chatsport says, thought Martial would leave. Yeah, I feel like he would have left, but he seems content enough. I feel like we're going to be stuck with him for at least another season. Rajat says, not prime RVP, at least Berbatov or Tevez. Yeah, look, he's a big, powerful striker, Rasmus Hojlund, so I don't know. Probably not the Berbatov style. I don't know, maybe a Van Nistelrooy kind of style, but I mean, Ruud was something else as well, honestly. For anybody who remembers Van Nistelrooy playing for this club. I heard City won 30 million from Mahrez. We can buy him. Yeah, it's probably around 300 million for us. Sherry is saying to me, I would like to see Højlund in my team to accompany Rashford and Antony in the attack this season. Yes, I think that could be a lovely, lovely front three with Mount and Bruno behind them. That is fantastic. That gives you a lot of different things. Pace, power, passing, shooting ability, scoring ability. That's really, really tidy. Jarl is saying we cannot sell a player who would not be able to pass the fitness test. Yes, absolutely. Nobody wants to buy a car that's broken down. Nobody wants to buy a car that they know is going to fail on them whenever they get 5 minutes down the road. So I feel like that's probably why Martial is still here. And Terry is right. Yeah, he's injured, no surprisingly. Stephanie says, MOT Martial can't leave. He'll feel his MOT. Yeah, it's good to see you guys are agreeing with me. Look, I feel like that's a big thing. I feel like it's just the injuries have added up after such a long period of time. And it's every single time. It's like, it's like I said, if you're going to go buy a car, would you guys buy a car that has no engine in it, or that is covered in flat tires, or the exhaust is hanging off? It's been put together with sellotape. No, you're not going to buy it. And why would another club want to buy him as well? That's what we have to be asking ourselves. And look, he's another one of these players. The talent was there, the ability was there, but it just never materialized. So update coming in from Chard Dunker as well. Manchester United are not ruling out a longer deal for Johnny Evans. Look, that's what I expected. I expected to say this because I've had this feeling ever since this was announced today that this would be something we would look to do as like a backup, as a guy who comes in and maybe fills in a squad position. That's what I feel like we're doing with Johnny Evans, and I felt that way for a while. I feel like we're going to keep on doing it. Jard is saying, I think Martial got a year left on his contract, so will be released next summer. Yes, I think he might be right on that one. So he's going to be a player who goes for nothing. It's going to be unfortunate. You know, former golden boy. This guy was once decided to be the best young striker in all of Europe, and it's just never really happened for the guy. It's frustrating, it's annoying, but that is football. Sometimes careers don't turn out the way we want them to, and look, it is what it is, guys, honestly. So in terms of the poll that I had asked you guys on, should we sign Højlund or Muani, 76% of you guys, a whopping over three quarters, are going with Rasmus Højlund. So you guys are clearly on Højlund FC, and I have to agree. I think he is my option there. And yeah, I think Terry's agreeing there. 1 year left for Anthony Martial. I feel like we're just going to run that contract down. I feel like it's all we can do. It's kind of like a Phil Jones situation where we knew it was going to happen once that contract ran out. So look, United will be in the right to let him go. Unfortunate not to get money for him, but at least we're not paying the Ballon d'Or clause. But yeah, I mean, it is what it is. Dan says Evans was brilliant for Leicester and probably less clangers than Maguire. Yeah, probably has. We'd be lucky to have Martial fit for 4 months. Got a fantastic striker there. Yeah, look, he's a good player. I've never doubted his ability. I've never ever once questioned his ability on the ball, his ability to score goals. It's always got to be that injury record. So an update coming in about Mason Greenwood for anyone interested. So Manchester United have been looking at potential loans for Mason Greenwood. His name came up in discussions with Atalanta, but sources close to Atalanta Football Club have played down the prospects of a move. United are now not proactively exploring loan options. So, if we're not going to loan Mason Greenwood, that means one of two things. He's coming back to the first team, or we're going to release him. So it looks like the third option is off the table. It's a straightforward stay or go, and we're going to see what's going to happen here. I feel like the whole reason we wanted to loan him was because United didn't want the headache of having to deal with it. They didn't want the responsibility of dealing it. But I think they're probably going to get rid of him. That's going to be my opinion. Let's see. Stephanie says, surprisingly, Martial has a similar goal to appearance ratio as Rashi. Shame he just can't stay fit. Yep, that's the big problem. Chatsport is saying at this one, I take a punt on Vardy. Now we're going for outside shots. Honestly, guys, we are going for some outside shots if we're bringing up Jimmy Vardy. Look, a couple of seasons ago, maybe, but I don't know. I don't think it's the right move. So Tella is going for 10 million. Very, very happy with that. I'm just checking as well, guys, if there's anything new has broke, any further updates. Looks like Onana will be arriving tomorrow morning. We were told he'd be here by 7 p.m. today, but it is what it is, guys. Any more thoughts, make sure to get them down in the comments as well, guys. Who've we got? Chassport. Go get Felix, could be an interesting one. Terry says backup Vardy, yes. I don't know. I feel like he might be a couple of years past it, but I don't know. Maybe it's something we go for. We get some Leicester City squad boys back in that squad as well. Any more thoughts, guys? Make sure to get them down below. So 75% of you guys, 115 voters, 75% went with signing Højlund over Kolo Muani. So yeah, look, you guys have made your decision. I feel like I've made mine. I feel like Højlund is the guy. He is the one that I want to see for Manchester United leading that forward line next season. Any more thoughts, guys? Just get them in down below. And as well as that, guys, if you are new, please consider hitting that sub button. Really helps grow the channel and helps grow the community. So much appreciated, all the support. Dan is saying Rooney versus Vardy. Oh no. Bit of Wagatha Christie there as well for anybody who likes that sort of stuff. Let me check. I think there might have been a comment I missed earlier as well. Who've we got? Oh no, it's just come in. Best free or low signing forward. Stephanie says, great show. Thank you very much for that, Stephanie. Yeah, guys, I'm going to leave the show here as well. So thank you so much for joining in. Much appreciated. So yeah, guys, obviously we'll be back on same time tomorrow. Everyone enjoy the match as well if you guys are checking it out. Much appreciated. And I will see you guys tomorrow. Thank you very much for tonight, guys. Really appreciate it. And big shout out to Dan for sending in a super chat as well. Really appreciate that, man. So thank you guys, and I will see you all tomorrow.